What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Satisfactory with Wildwolf. We've done a little bit. And by we, I mean Wildwolf. I helped. Oh yeah. Wild. You forgot some buildings.
What?
You forgot some buildings.
Which buildings?
There's buildings upstairs. On the 3rd floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You forgot something. As in the 20 smelters, and as well as the 2 crafting
Yeah, but
benches.
they might not be placed like that. These might not be the final placements.
But I spent so long placing them and then specifically connecting each and every single one with wire and cable. How could you? Alright. I figured that I'll just do a brief explanation of what's going on here. So Wildwolf has balanced out the processing of limestone into concrete. Oh, look at that. It's faster than just a single one, or whatever it was we had downstairs. Like 2 or something. So we've got 5. One of them is overclocked to a very specific 134%. This is the one on the end here. And it's... yeah, it's almost constant. Got Mark 3 belts going into everything. The 2 at the front are backed up, and the ones at the back 3 are not. Which I found rather amusing.
Because that's how it's supposed to be.
Really? Okay. Anyway, so I figured we'd do iron on camera. Do we want to use our existing iron mines, or just tap new ones?
I mean, we could tap new ones.
And we'll just redirect the old ones as needed. Alright. So, I'm guessing... so you want to go Mark 2?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, so many iron mines. So it depends on what they are, right?
So, I know exactly where we can tap some iron mines. Remember the first playthrough we did?
Yeah. Alright, so how many Mark 2s am I going to need? 4, 5, 10. Cookie.
5.
5? Alright.
Yeah. Because I have 3 already, which I can place down.
You have what?
I have 3 minor Mark 2s I can already place down.
Okay, so I only need to bring another 2 then.
No. 5. You need to bring 5.
It's like,
because
it's like, we need 5
miners.
total. It was like, no, you don't understand. You need to bring 5. Yum, yum, yum. My apologies, YouTube, for the munching noises. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Wombat here. It's time for a time lapse. Wildwolf and I decided that it was probably better off that we just sped up the process of this rather than everyone having to listen to our dithering and thithering and failing to make any sort of sense in any general form whatsoever. So, we've sped it up. And now I get to talk to you for like, 20 minutes? I think 20 minutes. I'm not sure. The one big thing that I've realized as a result of this is that I actually need music to put behind this. When I am thinking and trying to figure out what to say to you guys during these kinds of things. There's sometimes some dead space that could be filled by something like music. So I need to find something either from the game itself or find some free-to-use music that isn't going to get my channel copyright striked. Yeah. Should probably work on that. Maybe write my own. That would be interesting. That could be very interesting. There's a thought. Let's talk about what's going on screen. Having placed down the Mark 8s, we figured that we need the belts to line up, so Wildwolf is actually creating a platform that will run from the miners all the way out to the base. We're just going to deplete our concrete supply. I get confused as to what's going on with it, just realize that it's slow compared to the one upstairs. I forget that we actually have one upstairs, to be honest. And I was like, hey, do you want me to continue building this platform or just start laying belts? I was like, okay, we'll lay belts then. Just going to start cleaning stuff up and then start merging everything. One of the big things that I come across, it's not really a big issue, but did make this a little bit longer to do than necessary, was the fact that our steel processing is not really great. It is literally just a smelter going into a constructor, going into a storage crate, which is then being immediately emptied and sent to our second floor to make encased steel beams. So combining the steel beams with concrete. And I'm going through and going, we need resources. They're probably all upstairs. They were. Each machine usually carries a backlog of about 100 in its crafting area. We were discussing whether or not we would demolish our original limestone mine. We decided let's just build up. Yes, the conveyors do reach that far. I actually need to test the build limit on that. Like, what is the height they can reach? Is it infinite, or is there a set limit where you actually have to build another elevator? So currently building the layout for our belts. Well, this is with the 2 Mark III belts that run all the way back to the base. From the miners will be Mark IIs, which will run to the Mark IIIs. I use a lot of conveyor mergers here. Each merger can merge 3 belts into one, so I'm not sure as to why I did it this way. I might go back and clean this up off camera. I'm not certain. I could just add it to the list of things that I need to do off camera. Some of which we'll get to later on. So just merging all the belts down, discovering that I don't have enough steel in any way, shape or form. And just popping wild. For no reason other than, I can. Mind you, I get it all back in turn. He was like, hey, well, do you have any steel? I'm out of steel. I need steel. He's like, yeah, I've just given you everything that I have. I'm like, cool. I end up using Mark II belts here and then going back through and switching out everything so we have enough Mark III for the rest of it. Which turns out to be a good idea. So, yeah. Just casually getting distracted by my phone. I left something at someone's house. So, yeah, shock horror. I have a life outside of YouTube? What? Of course I do. What am I talking about? Everybody has a life. Well, actually, no. But I won't get into that. That's just needy and terrible. And ugh. The wombat is rambling. Running out of resources again. We're just going to start hooking stuff up to power so we can actually get some of this stuff moving as we place down the belts. One of the things that I've really enjoyed with our recent progression is the addition of the Mark II power poles with the 7 wire connections. It's the greatest. Just being able to connect so many different things up to one pole means that everything looks a little less wiry. Just casually checking our power supply, because I think, was it the power go down there or in the previous episode? I need to watch that one back. There are things that happen in episodes that I recall later on and then go, did that happen today or was that the other day previously? Here's where I run out of steel for the, whateverth time. Wildwolf is still just placing things. Placing more belt. We're going to get into there. Just looking at stuff. Looking at the molecular analysis machine. And going AFK for for you, a couple of seconds. For me, it was more like a couple of minutes. I don't know what I did. I think I went and made lunch. I think it was lunch. One of the reasons I figured that I could actually get away with this is because after a certain point into the original recording session, before we decided to make this into a time lapse, it was getting a little fast and loose with the English language. We're like, maybe we should time lapse this. I mean, listening to us rambling is not going to be fun for anybody. There we go, just casually killing the manufacturing of encased steel beams. And finally, it has arrived. All the iron. More conveyors. I think those things are so great. Oh. I tried to play this offline a couple of times while I was in the process of rebuilding my PC. And just struggling to make belts rise and fall using just the stands could endlessly painful. Just like, why won't you reach? That's such a small. That is such a small incline. Why is this not something that you're able to do? I'll just add it to another item on the list of things that bug me about factory building games. Another one of which is the fact that the resources just tend to sit there on the belt and not do anything. This is one of the reasons why I figured we were so short on steel, was because it was all sitting upstairs on the belt waiting to be crafted into encased steel beams. Which, again, my fault, because I grabbed some motors earlier, which sent production off. It doesn't just fill up the chest that you're sending it into, it also fills up the belt on the way to the chest, and then it continues crafting until the end product slot in the crafting machine is also full. So you could have not only like a chest which could have a couple thousand items in it, but you've also got, then a couple of thousand items sitting on a belt, not doing anything, and then a couple of thousand items, or a couple of hundred items rather, sitting inside the actual machine itself. Previously in the day, I thought I was being helpful, and I placed down a whole bunch of these machines, and it turns out that I was not being so helpful. We moved it. Moved all of it. That lookout tower doesn't stay either. It gets moved out of the way in favor of spacing. Those lookout towers are actually the greatest thing ever. So rather than using stairs or just like building a ramp up using the concrete, platform blocks, just build a lookout tower. It's a couple of steel plate and a couple of iron plate and iron rod, and then bam, you're already up to your next floor. You build the concrete platforms, just like, the platform's width below where the lookout tower gets you, and you've got a really easy method of going up. And with parachutes, as well as blade runners, both of which I think are fantastic, and honestly, where were they like forever ago. I know it's early access, but there's just some great ideas that have been implemented recently that I'm just like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. So yeah, parachutes and Blade Runners are a thing, and I like them a lot. This spacing doesn't last either. Turns out it's not spaced out enough. I need to go out and actually measure what the width is. I think it's like the width that we come out with is 2 belts width, I think. Like I said, I need to measure it. So just going and yeah, it's like I need to replace this. That is not going to be tall enough because there's actually no way to get up on top of that little roof. And then just coming down and placing that. Bam, we have it. And now begins the balancing. So getting my hot bar set up for some splitter placement. And listening to Wildwolf just sort of muse to himself as to how he's going to place it. Just putting down Mark 1 belts. I'm like, do we need to upgrade these at all? And he's like, probably not. That's why they're placed so close. And then figure out that, yep, it's not far enough apart. So back it goes. A little bit more. Accidentally placed one too many on that side. And then not enough on the other. But we'll fix that later. There we go. Just bringing everything back in. There. Yep. And now putting in all the belts. We discovered that we don't actually have enough space for this particular project, so... Okay, honestly, all kudos to Wildwolf. He's fantastic at this kind of thing. This would probably have been a spaghetti disaster if it weren't for the fact that I am playing with someone who knows what he's doing, as could be indicated there. There's like, it doesn't line up according to the space on the other side of the machine, but if you look at it from the back, the way Wildwolf is facing, yes, of course it works. So... And now just getting the rest of it in there. Honestly, the whole process for this was a lot of fun. I have to admit, I did enjoy it immensely. Despite my frustrations with the lack of steel, getting everything set up was just... I don't know what it is about games like this. It's like setting up something to do another thing was just... It soothes something inside me. Hold on. Oh, the manliest of sneezes. Now, I'm trying to replicate this on the other side, so the other 8, and I'm doing it all wrong, as can be discovered now. It's like, look at it, it goes between the stuff. It actually gets a little irritated with me. It's one of the very few times I've actually seen Wildwolf get frustrated with my ineptitude. Running out of steel for belts again, and also running out of plate. So going back and turning everything into Mark 1s there, getting Wildwolf to finish it off. I also think that he just wanted to finish up, because for those of you who don't know, when we record this is really late at night for him. Like, he's, yeah, either needing to go to work or needing to go to bed. So it's can be quite interesting. Whereas for me, this is like the middle of the day for me. I'm having absolutely no success in getting up on those belts. The other thing that I've discovered is that talking really hurts your throat. Oh, that doesn't line up at all. Oh well, it's permanent now. Hooking everything up to power and going, what am I going to connect these to? Like, nope, nope, nope. Just running it out the back of the base to one of the other poles. It's like, do we want to decommission these at all? Nah, we'll just leave it running. Because we do need the resources to actually build everything else, and it's going to be a while before everything is set up completely. Here's that bug that Wildwolf was talking about. He's got everything painted, or at least to his viewpoint, everything is painted blue. Except for me. Half of it isn't. This can be fixed with just relogging, but it's one of those odd things. Nope. So yeah, now we're discovering the alternate recipe for screws, or at least figuring out whether or not we want to use it. It basically just skips the entire step of using iron rods, so it's a little bit more resource efficient. So the iron bar recipe gives us 12 buckets of screws at 90 per minute from 6 iron bar, I think. I don't know. I'm having a tough time remembering that. So I'm going through and grabbing some numbers of like just some non-overclocked machines. I'll put the overclockers back because that is still our primary way of getting resources built and like tertiary items made and that kind of thing. But end of the story is that we go for it. We go for the new recipe. Because, as it turns out, everything needs screws. Computers need screws. Reinforced iron plate needs screws. A whole host of things. So, yeah, screws is going to be one of those things that we're going to need an insane amount of. Or what I'm doing here as we're getting close to the end. What I'm doing here is setting up areas for actually doing that. So we're going to split off those 16 iron smelters into 8 for iron plate, because plate goes on a 1-to-1, and then 4 each for iron rod and screws, which work on a 2-to-1 basis for memory. I need to go back and look at the balancing again, or just message Wildwolf and go, hey, I've forgotten. But I start setting up iron here. But that is all we've got time for today, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cannon Fodder, and we will see you next time.